Today, we're diving into a tiny but significant case, the Minquiers and Ecrehos case between France and the United Kingdom. You might never have heard of these names before, but this 1953 judgment by the International Court of Justice still shapes how countries argue over territory today. So grab your coffee, and let's explore how two nations went to court over a few rocks in the sea. Let's start with the geography. The Minquiers and the Ecrehos are two small groups of reefs and islets in the English Channel, sitting between the island of Jersey and the French coast of Normandy. They're so small that during high tide, most of them disappear underwater, leaving only a few rocks and huts visible. Yet these seemingly insignificant spots sparked a major international legal battle between France and the United Kingdom. Why? Because in international law, even the tiniest bit of land can mean control over fishing rights, shipping routes, and sometimes natural resources. The story begins centuries ago. Before 1204, Normandy and England were part of the same feudal system, ruled by the Dukes of Normandy, who also became kings of England. But when King John of England lost mainland Normandy to France in 1204, the Channel Islands, including Jersey and Guernsey, stayed loyal to the English crown. Now here's where it gets interesting. France claimed that since the Minquiers and Ecrehos were closer to its coast, they should belong to France. The United Kingdom, on the other hand, argued that these islets were administered by Jersey and had always been part of the Channel Islands' jurisdiction. So, for centuries, both sides quietly believed the territory was theirs, until the issue came to a head in the 20th century. In 1950, both countries agreed to submit the dispute to the International Court of Justice, or ICJ, the world's highest court for settling legal disputes between states. Each side brought tons of evidence. France relied on historical maps, old charters, and local fishing activities to show its claim. The United Kingdom presented administrative documents from Jersey, like tax records, police reports, and court cases, proving it had exercised real authority over the islets. This evidence included things like Jersey officials registering boats that operated there, or local courts handling cases about property and fishing disputes on the islets. The key question for the judges was this: who actually exercised authority, not centuries ago, but in practice, in recent history? On November 17, 1953, the ICJ delivered its verdict. After examining all the evidence, the court ruled that sovereignty over both the Minquiers and the Ecrehos belonged to the United Kingdom. Why? Because the judges focused on a principle called effectivités. That means what matters most is who actually governs the territory, who exercises effective control, not just who has old historical claims. The court found that Jersey authorities had continuously and peacefully managed the islets, while France's activities were minimal and mostly informal. So the UK won the case. Now you might be thinking, why does this 70-year-old case still matter? Well, the Minquiers and Ecrehos judgment has become a landmark precedent in international law. It taught the world that effective control trumps historical or geographical arguments. This principle was later used in other big territorial cases, like Indonesia and Malaysia over Lijitan and Sipadan Islands, and Singapore and Malaysia over Pedra Branca. In each of those, the ICJ looked at who had shown real administrative control, not just who was nearby. So, the next time you look at a map and see tiny dots in the ocean, remember, those dots could be the key to massive international debates. The Minquiers and Ecrehos case reminds us that in law, as in life, actions speak louder than words. If you found this video interesting, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below.